Welcome to Patil TV. Joining us from Armenia is Patil Toutounjian, who is a very talented, creative, and adventurous. I would call her a videographer, and some people know her as a designer. I discovered Patil through her YouTube videos a couple of weeks ago. I personally find her work to be a very excellent way to connect diaspora Armenians to Armenia. And if you watch her YouTube videos, and I do hope you will find her to be magnetic, witty, funny, energetic, original, and minimalist. These are only a few words to describe our guest. Patil, maybe you, as you would agree, this is the first time we meet. I do not know very well. I keep hearing you were born in Aleppo, moved to Toronto. Tell us your story. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Of course. And wow, thank you so much for that introduction. You just gave me a boost of confidence right now. So yes, so I was born and raised in Syria, in Aleppo, and I moved to Canada when I was 17. So basically when you're supposed to figure out who you are. But when you move at a time like that, like a first generation Canadian immigrant family, your priorities are very much focused on survival. So you kind of go back a few steps. And I always kind of describe it as being reborn in the sense of you need to learn how to walk and navigate and like survive, basically. Even little things like, how do I go to school? And my first day of school there felt like my first day of school ever. So I think that kind of put me in a situation where I was kind of just going with the flow and taking every opportunity I can and seeking opportunities. So I basically found myself in a career of marketing at the age of 19. So it was very kind of quick, although I always wanted to be a lawyer, but that's a whole different story for a different day. So I found myself in marketing, which kind of led me, after 5 years of being in that career and going to work and going to school, and actually had a side job too, and to try to basically, like I said, catch up with where everyone else my age was in that country. I realized at one point that although I'm learning a lot, I kind of lost my identity into the day-to-day routine. So my identity, like finding or self-actualization, I wanted to take a step back and finally, when people say, what do you do or who you are? I didn't want to say I'm the marketing person at so-and-so company. I wanted to say, this is what my purpose in life is. And even though I didn't know what that was at that point. So I kind of took a step back and actually quit my job in 2018 after 5 years. And I came to Armenia to, I came to Armenia to volunteer with Birthright Armenia program. I don't know if people are familiar with it, which was an amazing opportunity. The tagline of the program is called the Journey of Self-Discovery, which to me, it worked perfectly because the second I got here, everything seemed way more simple than it was back home, where I was kind of like caught up in this complicated corporate life of being in someone else's world, I guess. So I took a step back. I realized that all I want to do is have a meaningful relationship with Armenia and Armenians everywhere. And found out that there's a huge gap, because when I told people I'm coming to Armenia, just the questions that people were asking me made me realize that there's so many, not just stereotypes, but preconceived notions of what Armenia would be, or even not knowing where Armenia is, whether they're my coworkers or people in the community. So I realized that I need to do something about this. And that's when I started just on Instagram, basically documenting what I'm doing. And people to this day are so surprised when they see a picture or a video saying like, is that in Armenia? Is that really Armenia? My last video was at a vineyard and someone said, I thought you were in Italy, just looking at the video. So I really am trying to in very simple and authentic, and to your point, very minimalistic way, like not super edited or produced, to just kind of document what's going on here, the day-to-day. My videos aren't necessarily this huge productions. It's just me, my phone on the street, talking on the videos and telling people little things about what's going on. So I'm finding peace in doing this. I'm finding if I put a smile in one person's face every day, then that's my purpose in life. And I'm much happier this way.
You know, we are very familiar with Birthright Armenia. We know a lot about Armenia, One Armenia. Your visit to the vineyard I watched, I really felt I was in Italy. I fell in love with that long table of people sitting and having wine and dinner at the sunset. So that's the beauty of it. And you're bringing it in such a very natural way with that smile of yours, with the friendly atmosphere. You're really connecting us with Armenia. What has been the response of people watching your YouTube videos?
I would say I'm very, very blessed. What I see with this online communities forming is exactly that, a community. And I think we've realized in 2020, we're all being isolated in our homes, and as Armenians everywhere going through a very rough year for us because of the war in Artsakh. I think we started relying on these online communities that we're forming to find a bit of a therapy, in all honesty, and a bit of hope. So I think me coming back to Armenia in April of this year or March of this year, and kind of growing this community, to me, it is providing me that sense of safety in a sense, or sense of belonging, I think is the better word to use. So every time I not produce a video or film a video and post it, I cannot wait for the live chats, because I put my videos as premieres where we all watch it together at a specific time for whoever can join. And the reason why I do that is so we can actually in real time all talk to each other. Obviously the comments afterwards are still, it has the same impact, but the live chat kind of gives you this, like yesterday's video had 37 people and it was just super fun. We were all talking and commenting and we felt like we were there. So I would say the overall response has definitely been positive, and I'm very blessed to have that community. And there's different demographics when they're watching my video. I have to keep in mind that there are Armenians, there are people who are not Armenian and are interested in travel and finding destinations that are, I want to say, not your typical, I guess, fall on like, oh, I'm going to Paris, right? So while I'm filming those videos, I want to keep in mind that I'm catering to all those people, like people who are nostalgic to Armenia, maybe are born in Armenia.
You know, what you said one thing, that when you started, you did not know what you were getting into. What do you see the future like? I think there's a major opportunity for growth. I really, really believe that. And I told some people, friends, I spoke about you. They said, and, you know, Rick Steves, Anthony Bourdain, whoever these people are. But I said, it was not Patil. You did not see Patil Toutounjian doing it, because you bring in that Armenian spirit also, whether you realize it or not. I know you speak beautifully Armenian. You can communicate with the host country. Tell me, what is the future like? What do you think it will grow into?
Yeah, so I think my vision for this in the future, and by future, I mean hopefully near future, is to actually visit Armenian communities in as many countries as I can and capture and amplify them. Because I want to expand our vision of Armenians are diverse, and I want us to be united in our diversity and learn from each other and amplify each other and accept and respect our diversity. So there's actually this project called Armenians by Little Armenias. And they actually I don't know if you've heard of them, but it's a project. What they do is it's a book that they list all Armenian businesses in different countries. So I actually ordered that book. It's waiting for me in Canada. So as soon as I go back, I'm going to use that book as my guide and travel to as many places as I can to know. It's like a guide, because you can be Armenian in your day-to-day life wherever you live. And I think that's something that I was missing when I went to Canada. And you know, if you're going to buy coffee, I'm sure there's an Armenian coffee shop somewhere near you. So as soon as we turn that into a habit and amplify them and put them on the map, I guess. So that would be kind of my ideal situation. Obviously, there's logistical challenges and you know, financial challenges that come with that. But I'm hoping that it will kind of snowball into it being possible for me to do that.
What is your words of advice? Because young people could relate to what you're saying, the way you're saying. You are able to reach the younger generation, I'm positive. What is your word of advice for people graduating from college during the pandemic, knowing that there is an Armenia out there, but not sure what it is like? What is your word of advice?
I want to say two things. One is the biggest question I get when I tell people, because I basically live in Armenia at least 8 months of the year, and I go touchdown back to my family and then to other countries, and I come back to Armenia. So every time I say, oh, I'm going back, they would say, why? So I want to say, don't look for reasons to go to Armenia, look for opportunities. Right. Create that opportunity. And also don't be scared to build a meaningful two-way relationship with Armenia as a country and Armenians everywhere.
Absolutely.
I think one thing I've learned from also interacting with volunteers in Birthright Armenia, because you're literally landing and you already have an established community waiting for you of very diverse Armenians, is that what you grow up in your community. For example, when I was in Aleppo, I knew that this is what being Armenian looks like. And then you go to Canada, oh wait, this could also look this way. So I think just being open to that diversity, and when you come in, build that two-way relationship. Don't come here with like a preset notion of this is what Armenia is or what it should be. And also keep in mind, Armenia is a real country. It has real things. Like the first time I've ever visited Armenia was when I was a kid and we came here for 2 weeks as a tourism. And I remember being like, oh my God, the police officer is also Armenian. Oh, and this is something, it could be a different thing for diaspora and Armenians to experience, but keep in mind, it is a real country, and there's real jobs here. There's real opportunities. There's real people, real problems with that come. So, just be open to all of it. Open heart, open mind.
You mentioned Birthright Armenia. As you very well know, Adele Hovnanian is from New Jersey, the founder of Birthright Armenia. Hopefully she'll be watching this video, because we all want to know what we are doing is getting somewhere. And she always has the question, is it effective? Can I do better? And this is a beautiful way, the way you presented your experience with Birthright Armenia is a way to tell her, thank you, you're doing the right thing. One thing I have to tell you before I forget, you have this smile, and I hope you can copyright that smile, because that's the most valuable. No, one day you'll say I am right, but that smile, the way you project, you have a very magnetic character. As you know, we are bombarded with YouTube videos, channels. There are 5,000 channels we flip. When I came to your video, I was clicking, and there's a flag which gave away Armenia. I said, what is this? Let me check it. And that moment I clicked your video, I wanted to continue. And when one video completed, I wanted to go to the next one. So this is beautiful. As you mentioned, there's One Armenia, Little Armenia, Birthright Armenia. There's so many beautiful organizations that we can tap in terms of getting to know them and how we can help them. I don't want to make it a long video. The main objective here for me is to get to know you a little bit better and to introduce you to our viewers, which I think we will be able very successfully to do so. If you don't know us, we have been around for quite a few years as a radio, newspaper, and lately with a Zoom, we went into videos. But we always end up the program, whenever possible, higher and old.
Injuche.
Injuche, lave, bravo, adiga lave. Martin gang gımgıman şeno zermetnal kirem tun lave higher and it. Inche vor guzeir barzel jovurtin head. Inche guzeir artsakın kel boral. Vorde բոլորս վինակդիս եք երբեմն գուզենք բորալ որ մեկը լսե ինչը որ գուզեի լսել
գուզեմ ասել որ ամեն մարդ իր ինքնին թողոլա որովհետև ինչ որ հիմա ինձ գսեք ժբիդիս համար կամ այսինքն իմ քարակտերից հետ կապված ադի ինձ եթե դարբեր գբահե կամ ադիգա իմ advantages ասեմ գնալ 1-2 ֆրանքներեն խառնեմ մարդիկ որ այսինքն ինքնիդ եղեք մի փորձեք ուրիշին նմանը լալ որովհետև շատ ինձ մարդիկ ասեն օրինակ ինչու մեյքափ չես ցներ վիդեոներուց մեջ կամ ինչու չեմ գիտեր ինչ ճիշտ ես միշտ ասեմ որ իմ աչքերս մամայիս կհիշեցնե եւ իմ քիթս բաբայիս կհիշեցնե so ամենասիրած մարդիկ ասեն իրենք եւ գուզեմ իրենց նմանիր եւ իրենց հիշել եւ ադինձի ուժ գուտա so ինքնիդ եղեք ինչպես որ եք գիտեմ որ միշտ այս զանդրությունը գա մեր վրա կամ փերը գա որ պետք է ամենում բացատրենք ինչս էլ է հայը լալ կամ ինչս էլ է Հայաստանը եւ այլն բայց դուք ծեր միջոցով եք ադիգա պայման չէ որ ինչ որ այսես սեմ քիրքի մբես մարդոց բացատրենք այսինքն դուք ծեր միջոցով դուք ծեր անձնավորությունները մեջտեղ անելով եւ դարբերը լալով հայ ենք ամենքս
Patil, գիտես շատ հարցուներ ունի գուսամ նորեն արիթ ունենանք խոսելու բայց t-shirt-ը որ իմ հակած է ասես գեղեցիկ t-shirt անգասկած ոյբե t-shirt որ հակած քու կորձը թե գուստեմ
Ուրեմն գաղափարը ինչ է դադիկ streetwear-ը որ իմ եղավ կորձս կամ բիզնեսս 1 տարի 1.5 տարի է ուրեմն հիմնեցի է որ Հայաստանին հետ Կանադա վերադարձա եւ տեսա որ պետք է 1 տարի quarantine-ի մեջ հոն մնացինք պետք է գտնեի ցեմ որ այսպես էր Հայաստանին հետ կապված եմ ուրեմն ես երբ որ հոս էի շատ արտիստներու ծանոթացա հայ որ հիմա իրենց հետ կաջակցիմ եւ ասի իրենց դիզայներն ուրեմն 20 արտիստ կա որ աշխարհի 4 կողմեն հայ արտիստներ են ես իրենց դիզայները գարնեմ որովհետեւ գսեմ արտիստը պետք է ստեղծագործե business-ի գոմը marketing-ի մարտիկի վրան գցենք։ So yes, իրենց մեր դիզայներ ուրեմն գարնեմ, իրենց անունին դա collection գնեմ դա streetwear-ին վրա, իրենց պատմությունը գբատմեմ, որովհետև գուզեմ իրենք spotlight-ը ստանան, եւ այսպես partnership-ի ծևով է, որ դարբեր արտիստներու գործերը կյանքի գբերեն, ասենք, եւ մեր ամենօրյա կյանքի մեջ կրնանք մտցնել, որովհետև t-shirt-ը պիտի ակվիս, հայ արտիստի մը t-shirt-ը ակվիլ ավելի լավ է։ Ուրեմն ես քծել չեմ գիտեր, at դաղանտի չունիմ, բայց ես marketing եւ business գիտեմ, ուրեմն միասին կալով կրնանք փամը մեջտեղ անեն արտիստներուն հետ։
Քես քծել չես գիտեր, բայց քաչ անցմնես, որովհետեւ երբ որ դեսա ինչպես at high wire-ներու վրա գսահիս եւ գերտաս բերել արիգա այսինքն ես չեմ գիտի գնայել գուզեի շատ անել բայց գամ մի քիչ adventurous գամ Pamagaldadик.
Tuil Pamagal.
Որովհետև իսկապես ուղղակի հիացա եւ հետաքրքրական է որ որքան որ մարդիկ խոսած են այդ դեղերու մասին քու վիդեո ասածից պես շատ բարձ ձևով անգերս մաքուր զուլալ ձևով գներգացնես այդ աշխատանքը Patil վերջի խոսքը քեզի գցեք եմ դե Pamaguzes ասել հայերենով կամ անգլերենով wrap it up
Okay, անգլերեն հայերենով գսեմ իրարու այսինքն իրարու հետ համերաշխ լամ է մարդ ուզեմ ասել որ իրարու լսեցեք իրարու հարկեցեք իրարու դարբեր այսինքն միտքերը որ լսենք եւ իրարու փոխանք շատ լավ բաներ մեջտեղ գրնանք ցերկ բերել այսինքն հաշտ համերաշխ ժբիդով իրարու պատելով whether it's virtual կամ in person այսինքն հային տո այսպես ընդունենք իրար եւ միշտ միասին մնանք
Arme իշեցիր ժբիդով
Ժբիդով
Քու copyrighted ժբիդը ծախսել
Ժբիդով
Patil շատ շնորհակալ եմ անգլիացիներում սպառված անցումնես ինչ է հաջորդ վիդեոտ մի վերջին հարցումս է
Ճիշտ է հիմա եկա ֆիլմինգեն որ գկրեինք վիդեոյն առաջ ուրեմն the Chess Academy of Armenia so ջադրագի ակադեմիան կացինք tournament մգար որ վզդիկները գխաղային ես chess player եմ ես ջադրակ խաղցող եմ Մամայինց շնորհի որ ինձ դրել են ջադրագի 10-4-5 տարեկան ես եւ ամեն կյանքը Սուրիայի մեջ խաղցած եմ գգարձեի լավ խաղցող եմ միջև Հայաստան եկա եւ դեսա որ չէ շատ սորվելիք բան ունի ուրեմն ոս ինչպես գիտեք ջադրագը արդեն շատ մեծ մշակույթի մասն է so ադիգա ֆիլմերին հիմա եւ յետևեմ պիտի մարտոց ցույց տամ ուր դեղերը գրնան Հայաստանի մեջ ասենք casual իրարու հետ խաղալ այսինքն լաջաշարաններ եւ այլ այդպես տեղեր so ադիգա պիտի լա չորդ վիդեոն
Կերես մաման բաբան գիշես սերիներ ուր դեղեն են besides Aleppo ուր դեղեն են
Այնտաբեն
Oh wow you're getting a lot of points in New Jersey trust me Դի բաշտեք քեզ այստեղ անտաբի խումբը զորավոր հարկված խումբն է Patil անգամ եւս շատ շնորհակալ ենք Հաջողություն կմաղթենք հաջողություն
Enjoy and thank you so much for having me it means a lot